We are on beautiful Maria Island, or in my language we call it Wukaluwikiwana. Yarninamapali. My name's Jamie Graham, I'm a Trawlway Pakana, but call me Jam. So Yarninamapali in my language means hello to you all, and I introduce myself as a Trawlway Pakana. Pakana means Tasmanian Aboriginal, and Trawlway is my specific tribe from the northeast of Tasmania. So my degree is a Bachelor of Marine and Antarctic Science. I studied that at University of Tasmania's Institute for Marine and Antarctic Science. My Aboriginal bloodlines, they're saltwater people, so they're from Cape Portland, Bay of Fires, up in the beautiful northeast. And so I think there's a little bit of ancestral connection to the ocean that drew me there. My pop was also a fisherman, so some of my earliest memories were being out on his trawler in the Bass Strait. I reckon that might have a little bit to do with me choosing marine science as well. We're here on a field trip for marine ecology, which is looking at how all the different animals and plants of the ocean, how they interact with each other. We'll pull up and drop an anchor, and we'll actually drop a camera down into the ocean with a little bit of bait dangling out in front of it. And essentially what that does is attracts a whole bunch of different fish and animals to come have a look. We saw probably about 200 albatross today, a seal, we've seen a shark, heaps of stingrays, probably about 20 or 30 different species of fish. It's been heaps of fun. It's been a goal of mine to go to Antarctica. I'm hoping by the end of this degree I can score a research position down in Antarctica, helping out one of the professors who go down and lead the research projects, and hopefully maybe one day leading my own research project. My biggest goal in life is to help out in the fight against climate change. So anywhere I can put my efforts into protecting the planet and looking after the land and country, that's what I want to be doing. I'm also running some cultural tours with Nita Education. So we actually take a whole bunch of different people out along the beach and share some of the Aboriginal history of the island, and look at some of the bush tucker and even some of the French history of the island as well. When we take people out in the bush with Nita Education, we like to focus on the place we're at. So here on Maria Island we'll be talking about the beautiful Cape Barren geese, the wombats, the seabirds, the bush tucker we can find here, so the native cranberries, the ice plant, the boobialla, everything that's in this place we like to talk a little bit about. We always like to talk about the Aboriginal history and the incredibly long amount of time that my ancestors have been here. There's a whole bunch of stuff that people don't realise about how we looked after the country, what kind of foods we ate, what type of ceremonies we held. That's why I love working with Nita, because I get to go out and actually share what I know and help close that gap of knowledge. My mum was taught in school that we were extinct. I was taught in school that we were extinct, and that's confusing when you've got your grandfather and your mother telling you you're Tasmanian Aboriginal. Your teacher is telling you that they don't exist. That's confusing. We might not look like your stereotypical Aboriginal person. We come in all different shapes and sizes and colours. So if I'm able to go out into different schools as a Tasmanian Aboriginal man and help them to understand how important it is to recognise us and for all of us to learn that knowledge, so that we can all go back to caring for country in the proper way. There is a little bit of grief and sadness. There's a lot of grief and sadness on some days more than others, a little bit of anger. But I think if you dwell on those kind of negative emotions, they stop you from doing what you want to do. Being Tasmanian Aboriginal is to be a survivor, and that's something I hold with great pride in my heart. Being a survivor and having such strong and ancient connections to such a beautiful place is incredible. It also comes with a responsibility of looking after this beautiful island, but that's a responsibility I share with everyone who lives here in this beautiful place. This is the peppermint gum, which is a type of gum tree or a eucalypt, and my ancestors actually looked at this tree as their family. Now that might seem a bit weird, but it was a way that we looked after country, because this tree actually looks after us. I'm not sure if you know, but a lot of Aboriginal people do smoking ceremonies and cleansing ceremonies. What they do is they burn these leaves, and the smoke is a medicine, and we breathe it in, and we use it to clear our heads and be nice and happy and grounded. Another reason that this tree is really important to my people, this tree's cousin, the black peppermint, is we actually used to cremate our old people within these trees, and then their bodies would go into the soil and then they would become part of that tree. So that's kind of why we look at these trees as our kinship, as our family, and we've got to respect these beautiful things as if they were our own blood. Did you know that most of our animals that we share this island with in Tasmania have more than one name? In my language, Paluakani, we call the wombat Probladina, and the white-bellied sea eagle, we call her Kumika. But in the old days, there were over 9 different languages in Tasmania. How cool is that?